Park in Houston, Texas. Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's the deciding game of this three-game series. The Astros meet the Atlanta Braves. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. We've seen the Astros now get off to a great start on this homestand. They've played 5 straight one-run games right now, JD.
Yeah, providing a lot of drama for the fans that show up here at Minute Maid Park. That was the case again last night. Tejada delivered the game winner. Good pitching matchup tonight. Roy Oswalt, Derek Lowe. So we anticipate another low-run game. Lowe 13-9 this year, 5-2 since the break. Roy 8-5. Atlanta, though, in his career in the regular season, just 0-2. He's pitched well against them in the postseason. But looking for his first regular season win against the Braves. If he gets it, he'll pass Larry Dierker into second place all-time in franchise history.
It'll be a big night for him and for the Astros, who have inched to within 3 games of 500. Miguel Tejada got the game winner in the bottom of the 9th last night to win it 2-1. Game 3 is on its way to you next. Houston Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Busch Beer, by the Ford F-150, by Jack in the Box, and by the Progressive Insurance Group. It's cloudy outside. There is rain in the forecast throughout the next few days. Inside, it's Roy Oswalt versus the Atlanta Braves. Roy has beaten them twice in playoff games, but never has a victory against the Braves during the regular season. And it's Nate McLeod leading it off for Atlanta. Let's see what's going on.
Now they're waiting for television. They're waiting for us. It's a 7:05 game, and it's only 7:04. Rapid Roy is in a hurry. There we go.
Okay, now they can start. McLeod, the 260 hitter with 17 homers, 59 runs batted in, gets it going. He has 2 hits in this series, including a homer off Felipe Paulino in the opener. There is ball 1 to McLeod. Former Pittsburgh Pirate. Smacks one high toward the Astros bullpen in right center field. And that's a flyer for McLeod. He hits one into the Astros bullpen. Home run number 18. 2 home runs in the series for Nate McLouth and a quick 1-0 lead for the Braves on the second pitch.
Mulligan, do-over. McLouth is not a real big guy, but he gets great extension and great finish. Second time he's hit a ball into the bullpen in this series. You've seen him do it a number of times with the Pirates. Good high ball hitter, and that's what he got.
Well, there's strike one to Yunel Escobar, the shortstop, hitting .300. Escobar has 14 homers. He's driven in 66. And he smacks one toward the gap in left center field. Michael Bourne will go back to play it on the backhand side on the warning track. And it's a double for Escobar, his 23rd of the year. So the Braves start with back-to-back extra base hits off Oswalt.
A number of the Astro pitchers have been plagued with first inning problems this year. Roy has not. And obviously the Braves getting the jump on him here. Home run, now a ringing double on a hanging slider. Escobar, a talented young player. Good hitter, great hands out there at short.
Chipper Jones looks at ball one. 268 for Chipper, 16 homers, 63 runs batted in, but no 63 average against the Astros. He's 0 for 7 in this series. Lines one into right field. Escobar is being sent by Brian Schnittker, and the throw to the plate is not in time. This coast had a problem with that one-hop throw from Hunter Pence, and that makes it 2-0 Braves as Chipper Jones drives in the second run.
Right now, Roy just looking for an answer. He's missing with his fastball, and then when he comes with an off-speed pitch, well, first a slider, now change-up to Chipper Jones. Like Schnittker initially was holding Escobar out there, or Escobar thought he would be held up because he had to restart the engine.
A little bobble there by Hunter, but he quickly regained control. There's McCann throwing his bat into the seats.
My goodness, we've got a lot going on here.
Yes.
7 pitches into this game. And a home run, 2 runs scored, and a bat flying through the air.
3 straight hits and almost a hit fan.
Yeah.
McCann with 18 homers, 75 runs batted in, goes back for a little more pine tar as we check the starting lineup for the Braves. It's McLouth, Escobar, Chipper Jones, McCann, Garrett Anderson, Adam LaRoche, Ryan Church, Kelly Johnson, Derek Lowe.
Make a motion that those 2 runs don't count because we hadn't done the lineup yet.
Okay. That one is lined to center field. Michael Bourne over to play that one on bounce, and here goes Chipper Jones for third. He makes it there, and it's 4 straight hits out of the chute for the Braves as McCann singles. They're not cheapies either.
No, they're not. You're absolutely right. The Braves have really struggled in recent games scoring runs, but they've got their hitting shoes on tonight. Michael maybe got caught assuming Chipper was going to stop at second base there, and he never slowed down. A bit surprising to see Chipper go first to third on that ball.
Garrett Anderson was 0 for 4 Tuesday night in the opener of this series. 278 for the season, 12 homers, 51 runs batted in. Tejada and Matsui set up a double play depth. And it's ball 1 to Anderson. Anderson, 37 years old, a longtime member of the Angels, making the move to the National League this year. He's had some sciatic nerve issues along the way this season. Strained left thigh. 1 ball and 1 strike to 37-year-old Garrett Anderson. 9 first inning runs allowed, including 2 tonight. 9 of them earned. This is his 29th start.
Yeah, so he really has not had a problem in the first inning. But and sometimes you go out there and you're misfiring a little bit, or you have some bad luck. But everything working against him right now. I mean, he just does not have command of any of his pitches, and the Braves are jumping all over him.
Fly ball left field. Carlos Lee with Chipper Jones tagging at third. Fires toward the plate. Chipper coming in. The ball's cut off, and it's 3-0 on the sacrifice fly by Anderson. giving him 52 runs batted in. McCann holding at first. 4 straight hits, now a sac fly, and it's Adam LaRoche batting next. LaRoche, a .271 hitter, has 21 homers, 61 runs batted in. And good seasonal numbers against the Astros, including a second inning homer off Paulino Tuesday night. Fouls that one for strike one. Adam has come back to the Braves and really ripped the ball since he joined them for the month of August.
He's been their best hitter since he joined the club. And Bobby Cox kind of hiding him down towards the later stages of his batting order. Has him hitting 6th tonight. 8 out of 28 in his career against Roy. That's a .286 batting average. Adam, not a speedy guy, certainly double play candidate if you can get the ground ball.
Fastball makes it a 1-2 count for Adam LaRoche. Since he joined the Braves July 31st, he's hit .331 with 9 homers, 21 runs batted in 35 games. Roy started a game in Atlanta this year, May 2nd, but had to leave after 1 hitless inning with a rain delay lasting almost an hour and a half. Strikes out LaRoche. 2 outs. The Astros have had 9 straight starts in which the starter has allowed no more than 3 runs.
LaRoche pulling off that fastball, 2-seamer with a little run, so back-to-back heaters. Roy gets LaRoche.
Ryan Church, a .275 hitter, steps up with 4 homers. He's driven in 39. Church was 0 for 4 against Paulino and company Tuesday night. He takes ball 1. Church coming from the New York Mets in the trade for Jeff Francoeur. That's a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Church began his career in the Cleveland organization, then he was traded to Montreal.
The last 3 starts for Roy Oswalt. Solid work in all 3 of them. A loss, a win, and no decision.
Bounce to the left of Chris Johnson. He leaves his feet, gets up, throws low to Berkman, safe at first. Infield hit for Church, the 5th hit of the inning. Johnson was scrambling to get up, and his throw wasn't in time to get Church. Now it's Kelly Johnson batting.
Chris making his first major league start down there at third base. Came in last night's game after Jeff Blum left due to an injury. This is his first major league start.
Kelly Johnson gets the curve, and it's ball 1 to a .215 hitter with 8 homers, 26 runs batted in. Johnson is from Austin, went to Westwood High School. He's a converted shortstop. 27 years old. Big cut there by Johnson. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's had good hitting credentials until this season. He slumped to .215 this year with 8 homers, 26 runs batted in. Brought a .273 major league career average into this year. And he spent time on the disabled list. And then he had an 0 for 20 slump. Snapped that with a pinch single on Sunday.
And Martin Prado has been playing so well. He's just taken over the lion's share of the at-bats out there at second base.
Johnson was out with right wrist tendonitis. And that forced him onto the DL. Way outside. 3 balls and a strike. Roy Oswalt skipped his bullpen session between starts. He said that's no big deal. And he's had a lower back issue, but also wasn't feeling good in between starts. Johnson takes the walk to load the bases now for the pitcher Derek Lowe here in the first inning.
I don't know if Roy's back is bothering him or not, but clearly he's out of sync out there tonight. Could be the back. Could be just one of those nights. Sometimes, too, for a veteran pitcher, you get into September and a club that's out of contention. And it's not like you go out there and you're not trying, but you just don't have that edge that you normally have. Normally you get it after you start to get hit around a little bit. You kind of find that. Wait a minute here. Circle the wagons and go to work.
Well, Roy seldom goes through an inning like this at Minute Maid Park, where his career record is 75-24 with a 2.75 ERA. Derek Lowe, a 200 hitter, looks at ball one. Lowe has 9 hits and 45 at bats. The Braves have been offensively challenged recently. They hit only 185 during their 5-game losing streak. They've dropped 6 of 7. It's 1-1. Plate umpire is Todd Titchener tonight.
Oh, Todd. Breakdown. September morn. Buck 84, 2.6 runs per game.
Out of the way by Lowe.
See, it's all about timing. Derek Lowe has outstanding timing. He's getting the first inning AB with the bases loaded and 3 runs on the board. Tommy Hanson, last night's starter, got a big time hang with him.
Yes, he did.
8 shutout innings, no decision.
What a game he pitched last night. Low, that's one foul. Still 1-2 to Derek. Derek, 36 years old, signed a 4-year deal in January as a free agent for $60 million to join the Braves pitching staff after going 14-11 with the Dodgers last year. He had the 9th best ERA in the National League a year ago. And Lowe strikes out, but Oswalt faces 9 Braves in the first inning, an inning in which they put together 3. Be facing tonight. The Astros go with Michael Bourne in center field, Kazuo Matsui at second base, Lance Berkman at first base, Carlos Lee in left field, Miguel Tejada at shortstop, Hunter Pence in right field, Chris Johnson making his first major league start at third base, Chris Coste at catcher, Roy Oswalt at pitching.
Derek Lowe, good, dependable major league starter. He's been on the big league scene since 1997. Now 13-9, 436 earned run average this year. He gets a lot of ground balls. He's not a big strikeout guy, 92 strikeouts and 171 in the third innings. But when he's on his game, it's one ground ball after another. He's allowed just 10 home runs all year. Tough to elevate. Defensively, the infielders anticipate a lot of work. We'll take a look first at the outfield. Anderson, McLeod, and Church. Infield of Jones, Escobar. He can really pick it. Kelly Johnson, Adam LaRoche on the right side. Brian McCann does the catches.
Michael Bourne leads it off for Houston. Takes Lowe's first pitch, and it's strike one to Bourne, a .294 hitter with 3 homers, 33 runs batted in. Michael has scored 87 times this year. He's 0 for 7 in this series. Lowe gets some good sink when his day is going right. No balls and 2 strikes for Derek.
Sinker and a late moving slider and a changeup that'll fade down and away from the left-handed hitters.
It's a 1-2 count. 139 and 116 in the majors with a 3.80 ERA. He's done a lot of relief work. In fact, more than starting as far as appearances go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lowe has 85 career saves in addition to those numbers you saw. Bourne shoots one, just foul. Lowe has just piled up the innings. He and Roy Oswalt among the most durable pitchers the last 5 years in the big leagues. Over the last 4 innings, Lowe has thrown 850 innings coming into this year. Bourne bounces one. There's LaRoche tossing. And oh my! That Gary Darling call might not have been the right one.
Well, I think he anticipated, and I think he'd like a do-over. Maybe not. Let's take a look. LaRoche a little casual with the flip. The foot race is on, and it looked like Michael got there just ahead of Derek Lowe. That's one where, as an umpire, you're going, come on, boys, make that play a little quicker, make it easier for me. Wow. My initial reaction was that he was clearly safe. But having seen the replay a couple different times now, that's one of those. Either way, it's very hard to quibble with Gary Darling on that one. So I retract my. Oh my goodness! I can't believe it.
I think he actually got it right. As well, Matsui, but boy, was that close.
Way to go, Gary.
Apologies. Say there is no tie, JD.
Nope.
Tie does not go to the runner because there is no tie. Matsui fouled it back. It's 1 ball, no balls and 2 strikes. You might be wearing a tie, but in baseball field, no. 243 for Caswell.
No crying in baseball. No ties in baseball. No clock in baseball.
Astros are hoping there's a lot of hitting in baseball as far as they're concerned after giving up 3 in the top of the first. Derek Lowe has allowed a .294 batting average against him. He didn't get much run support last time out, losing 3-1 to Cincinnati Friday, giving up 3 runs in 7 innings. Matsui takes it. And it's 1-2 to Caswell. He's second in fielding percentage among National League second sackers. And needs only 3 more games after tonight to tie his career high in games played. Shoots that one into left field. He takes the turn. Garrett Anderson was taking a little time getting there, and Matsui had a thought about going to second, but he's on with an opposite field single.
Well, he went down and got a good pitch, too. Ball down around his shoe top. Flips it into right field for a 1-out single. And that's the key, as a base runner, go hard down the line, take a big turn, give yourself a chance for 2 bases. He picks up the ball, he sees Anderson getting there in pretty good shape, so decides to shut it down.
There's a board for Lance Berkman. Had the opposite field double last night in the 9th inning and scored the winning run. There's strike 1 to Lance, 271, 18 homers, 66 runs batted in. He's been in a lengthy slump as far as home runs go. He did well in the games against Atlanta this season. 32 games without a homer. Second longest homerless stretch of his career. His longest was 33 games last year, and he was talking about that before the game last night. He said, well, I'm not really considering myself to be a home run hitter, so I've had streaks like this before. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's at .292 against Lowe. Has 1 career homer against Derek and 4 runs batted in. Lowe is 3-3 against Houston in 8 starts with a 3.10 ERA. Matsui takes off. Here's McCann's throw high, and he steals it easily. Aggressive approach, trailing 3-0. 15th steal for Matsui.
You got a guy who gets a lot of ground balls, so not a bad idea to start base runners to stay out of double plays. Low, he'll vary his delivery home. Sometimes use a slide step, sometimes not. And if you catch him when he's using the big leg kick, he's fairly easy to run on.
Workman into the ground. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lance. Happy birthday wishes go out to a lady who's here tonight, Paulette Wyndham.
In the hotel business?
Didn't ask her if she was in those diamond level seats in batting practice behind home plate.
Hey, it's Tom Hewley's birthday tonight, too.
Really?
You know, Matt. I've seen D.C. every year. Formerly from the Woodlands, now lives in Virginia. Tom is Matt's dad, so we got to get him a W tonight.
Yes. Derek Lowe looks around. He's thrown 16 pitches so far. Lowe was the opening day starter and pitched a beauty at Philadelphia. 8 innings of 2-hit shutout ball and a 4-1 win in the Braves' first game of the year. On the road, he's 7-6, but his ERA is a high 4.87. Lowe was born in Dearborn, Michigan. Inside to Lance, and he walks him. 2 men on for Carlos Lee. This could have the makings of a wild one tonight here, JD.
Yeah, well, we anticipated a good pitching matchup with Lowe and Oswalt, but sometimes we get surprised. Pitchers have had their way so far in this series. Maybe it's time for the hitters to break out.
Carlos Lee would be one of those guys normally if they break out. 23 homers, 88 runs batted in, a .306 average, and he's at .389 against the Braves. Carlos 2 for 6 in this series. He takes ball 1.
Easier for a right-handed pitcher to throw a sinker down and away to a lefty than a right-handed hitter. You're trying to shoot for that outside corner, but that's the dangerous pitch for a guy like Lowe. If that sinker runs back to the middle when he's trying to go down and away to a righty, like that.
1-1 to Carlos. Good career numbers for him against Lowe as well. It's 2-1. The first time Lowe faced the Astros, he was with the Red Sox in 03, and he beat them in Boston 8-4. He had 20 ground ball outs in 7 1/3 innings, and there's the ratio: 2.3 ground ball outs for every fly ball out. To left center field, and that will loop in for a hit. Matsu's being sent home by Dave Clark. The throw goes to third, and it's 3-1. Lee with RBI number 89. Up for the second base on the single.
Didn't see where the Braves outfielders were deployed prior to that pitch, but that ball hung in the air a long time. I'm surprised nobody was able to get there and make a play on it.
Yes.
So he's trying to go down and away, and the ball runs back in. He didn't hit it all that hard, but hit it in a pretty good spot. Well, there you see the break by McLeod in center. Anderson retreating. I don't know if Anderson got fooled by that. Maybe thought it was hit harder than it was.
He wasn't moving quickly toward the baseball. Miguel Tejada has runners at first and second, 1 out. There's strike 1. To a .302 hitter with 10 homers, 72 runs batted in. Another game winner last night. His third walk-off hit of the year. He and Jeff Blum, the first Astro teammates to have 3 walk-off hits apiece in the same season. Well, coming up out of that crouch, McCann wanted to whip a throw down to first. Carlos went sliding back, but then he lost possession of the ball.
I would have guessed Dave Rohde and Carl Nichols back in 1990.
Oh, wow. You're pulling some names out now. Carl Nichols.
Roach sneaking in behind El Caballo. Tail back.
Off the leg of Tejada. Haven't had a Carl Nichols reference in 20 years. 1-2 the count.
Well, it's Booth's silly Astros Bible he's got over there. I was flipping through the other night. He's got every bit of Astro trivia, minutia, factoid, history of the franchise in there.
Well, that just adds to the pounding that Tejada's been taking lately. Of course, he got pounded by his teammates last night, as he told Greg Lucas on the interview on Astros Live tonight. Got to be able to survive those victory celebrations, come back and play sore the next night. Part of the challenge of being a major league player.
The modern game of baseball. You got to have the. I mean, you could be 100 games out of first place. You got to do the bounce when you get a win. And now Milwaukee's ramped it up even more with the tumbling bowling pins routine after the fielder home run. Boots is old school. He doesn't like any of that stuff.
No.
Just play ball. That's Boots' philosophy.
He has the only tie that's permitted tonight in baseball. Bouncer back to low. He goes to the shortstop, Escobar. Escobar up and over to LaRoche. Well, 1-6-3 double play to limit the Astros inning to 1 run on 2 hits with a man left.
Welcome back to Minute Maid Park. 3-1 Braves as we move to the second. I'm joined by Kelly Sines, and she is the head softball coach at San Jacinto Junior College, coming off of a 43-win season last year, top 4 finish in 2008. Congratulations on those accomplishments, and tell us about your team this year.
Well, thank you. We have a very good team. We got 6 returners. 2 of them are all region players coming back. We have 14 brand new kids coming in. We've got some great young talent coming in. We're lucky to have what we have right now.
Well, and with the record that I just talked about, finishing 4th in the country in 08 and all that, you guys have obviously set the bar pretty high out there. You say you've got a lot of new kids coming in, but they know immediately the expectations are high at San Jac.
They are very high because we've been ranked, for the last 5 or 6 years consistently. So when they come in, they know about our program, and we let them know from day one we expect to win, and that's what they come in, and that's why they come to us.
Okay, your coaching staff was the regional coaching staff of the year in 2008. You got one of your assistants right here. Go ahead, brag on your staff a little bit.
We had a great staff. I had my pitching coach, Coach Lopez, who did a great job with our pitching staff. Couldn't ask for a better job. And then Kevin and James, my hitting coaches, they did a wonderful job with my hitters. They made me look good along with my players. So I give most of the credit to them.
Well, thanks for being with us, and best of luck to you this season.
All right, thank you, sir.
And Brownie, coming up on September 23rd, we want to let all the San Jac folks know that the Astros are offering half-price tickets for San Jac Night, September 23rd. And to get those tickets and more information, you go to astros.com/SanJac. Back to you.
Thank you, Bart. There's the infield hit by McLeod to third base. And McLeod now has a homer and an infield single. Escobar showing bunt. Fouls it. He doubled to left center in the first inning and came around to score. Escobar, an interesting player, very talented. Has a lot of showmanship in his game, shall we say.
Yeah, they've worked with him trying to smooth that out a little bit.
But 26 years old, from Cuba.
Little flash is kind of fun from time to time, but I guess it becomes a problem if in trying to be flashy, you're making mistakes. One thing if you're Omar Vizquel and you barehand a ball just because you can and you make a play.
It's 2-1. Escobar is hitting .300. He came into this season a .303 major league hitter for 833 at bats. Pretty well established the fact that he can be in the upper echelon of shortstops in the National League in batting average.
I was talking with Bobby Cox before the game about him, and he said he catches everything. He said Coxie was saying Turner Field's a tough infield to play. It's a fast field, and plays that other shortstops don't make, this kid makes. He really likes his game.
Joe Simpson, who does television for the Braves, was saying Escobar really cares about winning. And he pointed to last night's final hit as the example of that. As that ball made it through the infield and out into center field, he was jumping up and down and smacking his glove into his hat. Just very unhappy at having to walk off the field, as the Braves have done in 6 of their last 7 games as losers.
Wasn't that long ago the Braves were knocking on the door, making a run at the wild card.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, you get back in there and hit, man. You got to be kidding me. I mean, the pitch before probably should have been a strike. He caught a break. Got one of the best pitchers in the last decade in the game out there. The borderline call went against Roy last time, and now this one right down Broadway, and Escobar starts heading down to first.
Full count.
A former teammate that would take some serious umbrage to that.
Yeah.
Number 34.
Fellow who favors a little bow tie pasta every now and then. Huh?
Obviously, you can't afford to throw a bow tie when it's 3 balls and 2 strikes because you put a man on base, but it's when you kind of put in the back of your head. One might have strided in there a little bit and just, son, stay in there and hit.
Runner going, and it's dribbled to third. Foul. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Braves have already achieved their average run scored per game in the season series with the Astros. They scored 16 runs in the first 5 games. This is the final game of the season series tonight, while hitting .217. They did that in 1 inning. Now 40 pitches into the game. Roy Oswalt trying to put a stop on the Braves with those numbers.
Nothing coming easy for Roy tonight.
Runner going again. It's a broken bat looper into shallow left center field for a hit. Mouth will hold on at second. And Escobar is on with a looping hit. He too is 2 for 2 to start the game tonight.
Join the Astros for our Salute to Heroes tomorrow at 7:05 against the Pirates. We'll honor local police, fire, EMS workers, and our military. First 10,000 fans receive a patriotic cap courtesy of Chase Bank. And the first 20,000 fans will get a mini U.S. flag courtesy of Arnie's Texas-sized party store. Half-price tickets available for members of the police, fire, EMS, and military. There'll be an on-field ceremony before the game. Details available at Astros.com. Breaking ball high and away. In the first inning, we were commenting how Roy was getting hit hard. Now, it's just bad luck. Infield hit and a broken bat blooper. It's the anatomy of a bad game, a combination of struggles and then bad fortune.
1 ball, 1 strike to Chipper. He had the RBI single to right. And before that, he had 8 hits and 73 at bats for a .110 batting average since the 16th of August. Fouls that one away, and it's 1-2. Strange season. Usually we talk about Chipper Jones and Lance Berkman both being up there with 300 batting averages, 30 homers, over 100 runs batted in. This season, both of them are struggling and will fall short of those numbers. Rolled up the third baseline, foul.
That's probably among the 10 worst hacks in Chipper Jones' career right there.
Yeah.
He's hearing about it from somebody in the Astros dugout. I don't know what somebody said, but kind of looked over there. Somebody was dogging him pretty good. Check out this swing.
He almost hit that with the backside of the barrel. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chipper Jones. Roy this season at home is 3-2 with a 3.52 ERA. floats for ball 3, and it's a full count to Chipper.
He's having a hard time finding the feel for his breaking ball.
In his last 12 starts, the Astros are 10-2. Roy is 5-1 with a 3.12 ERA. Tonight, rough sledding. He needs a pitch here on 3-2 with nobody out. And Chipper again hits a soft foul ball.
A pretty good job just getting a piece of that one, because I'm guessing after a couple of bad breaking balls, Chipper probably anticipating fastball there. Out in front a little bit, but able to make contact to stay alive.
Braves at the end of August were only 3 games out in the wild card race after going 17-11 that month. That's another bad hack from Chipper, and a strikeout number 3 for Roy.
Clearly his thinking changed. He was looking off speed here, and he's just flailing to try to get a piece of that fastball, realizing that it was by him. Yeah, that's 2 real ugly hacks in that at bat.
Ryan McCann single to center field first time up. He gets the curve. There's strike 1. Chris Coast has been catching Roy Oswalt the last few starts. 1 ball and 1 strike. Even though Roy has battled through the back issues, his last 5 starts at home have all been of a high quality nature. Wins have been elusive for him this year. He has 8. His lowest victory total in any major league season has been 10.
He was hurt that year and made just 21 starts in 2003, 10-5 that year with a 2.97 ERA.
Roy turned 32 August 29th. Strike makes it 2-2. Braves are 9th in runs scored in the National League. They're 10th in long balls. And they're 15th in stolen bases. Not much speed, not a whole lot of power this year for Atlanta.
It's a bad combination.
Yeah, but they pitch well.
And they pitch well, and I'm kind of bullish on their chances for next year. I love their rotation.
Smacked up the right field line. That's a fair ball into the corner. It'll score 1 and maybe 2. Escobar will be stopped at third. That's only a double. So it's an RBI for McCann, his 32nd double of the year, 76th run batted in to make it 4-1. And she's very happy it did wind up in the seats.
A slow curveball, and McCann stayed on it and drove it to right field. You see it kick up and hit that fan, so dead ball. Otherwise, the Braves would have scored 1 more.
And the infielders move in with men on second and third and 1 out for Garrett Anderson. Anderson hit the sac fly to left in the first inning. 8 hits for Atlanta. Strike for Anderson. When he left the Angels after last season, he had piled up some very impressive totals and was their all-time leader in hits, runs, games, total bases, and runs batted in. 0-2. He's a 3-time All-Star. Lined into center field. That'll score Escobar. McCann stopping at third. And 5-1 Atlanta now. Anderson drives in his second of the night and 53rd of the year.
Again, the breaking ball stays up. And then again, the Braves hitter, this time Anderson, able to center it, hit it sharply. Dewey Robinson out to have a chat. This is frustrating, obviously, for any pitcher. Roy, who normally has an answer, he's a plan B. Right now, he doesn't have one.
Billy Sadler's warming up in the Astros September call-ups. Sadler, a right-hander, was with the Giants organization, was released. The Astros signed him as a free agent. He was pitching at Round Rock. with the understanding that if he was healthy, he'd be called up in September. Adam LaRoche struck out in the first, and it's ball 1 to him. The Rockies kept it going today, beating Cincinnati 5-1 with a 5-run third. Their 7th straight win. They're now 21 over 500, 81-60. Lined into center to make it 6-1. An RBI single by LaRoche, his 62nd run batted in. Braves are really banging out the line drives.
And Billy Sadler warming in the bullpen, but with no real sense of urgency. He might want to crank it up a little bit. He's catching a lot of plate tonight.
Can scoring run number 3 of the inning. And Church takes that one for ball 1. Church had the infield roller for a hit to third. 10 hits and 6 runs for the Braves. That's the way it looks.
A lot of carnage here for Atlanta as they bat in the 2nd inning.
All of the top 8 have been on base. Johnson, who walked, is on deck now.
You know, there are times as a pitcher when you're out there and you're thinking, you know, let me pitch, let me work my way through it. And there are other times you're out there going, I can't believe they haven't come and got me. Get the feeling that's where Roy's at right now.
They're probably hoping he can get out of this inning, and then if they get a man on, they can pinch hit for him in the bottom half. 3-1 to Church. Roy is checking 2 balls and a strike. He's checking on that count. The scoreboard has 2-1. It should be 3-1. Yeah, now they get it correct. Well, not really, but we know what it is. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The scoreboard still showing 2-2. It is 3-2 now. Kip Wells lost for the Reds today at Colorado. Juan Rincon won it in relief. Outside the left field line, that is out of play.
Somebody get hurt for the Rockies?
Well, Contreras went 3 as their starter. And he might not be stretched out. He had been released by the White Sox and might have been inactive for a while. Garrett Atkins hit his 9th homer. And he has not contributed a whole lot this year. It's that kind of a season. Jason Giambi played first base today with Todd Helton resting. He drove in a couple of runs. He's helped them here in September. And it's different guys chiming in.
And that's the thing, you know, Jim Tracy in the middle of this race that they're in, willing to give Helton a day off. Giambi got to start over the weekend as well.
Oh, Contreras strained his right quadriceps. That's why he left. Swing and a miss by Church. And that's strikeout number 4. 2 outs for Oswalt. And Kelly Johnson.
This is kind of like you drain an 18-foot putt for triple bogey. That strikeout right there. Because Roy's still not happy with the pitch, because you don't want to throw a letter high changeup. It's just one of those that happened. You got away with it. You're like, come on.
Johnson looks at ball 1. Derek Lowe on deck. Johnson first came up with the Braves in 05. Played against the Astros in the playoffs that year. Fouled away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got a little bit of an uppercut swing from a good low fastball hitter. Kelly Johnson's reputation is that of a good hitter who has struggled some defensively, but this year just not getting much going with the bat either.
Hit 16 homers in 07, drove in 68 runs. He pulls that one foul over by the Astros bench, and it's 1-2.
This is amazing. Roy Oswalt had 70 pitches in the 2nd inning. We've seen Roy get into the 7th inning with 70 pitches.
This one gets by Chris Coast on a strikeout by Johnson. Johnson sprinting for first. The throw to Berkman gets him. And Oswalt strikes out the side, but gives up 3 runs on 5 hits with 2 men left. It's Atlanta 6, Houston 1. Bottom of the 2nd inning coming up later in our Dodge Grab Live feature. Who does Wesley Wright look up to? Stay tuned. Talking with Wesley about his game last night. He was really throwing the ball well. Coming in the 8th inning, having a 1-2-3 inning, striking out a couple, and talking about his breaking ball, which I thought was his slider. He said, no, that was my curveball last night, but he had some excellent tilt on it, and the hitters were swinging either over the top of it completely or hitting the top of the ball and fouling it.
Yeah, it's kind of a slurvy breaking pitch. He's out there with the softball, not in the bullpen. He was working on a little split finger grip.
I like it. Hunter Pence, 23 homers, 68 runs batted in, a .286 average, has hit .438 against Atlanta.
Sometimes guys will play catch with the softball or play long toss to help stretch out their arm. Scott Erickson used to do that. As a teammate of his with the Twins, he played long toss. He'd throw a softball pretty much across the entire outfield.
Eric Lowe, another of those guys with just a very resilient arm, and he's never been on the disabled list.
And he reminds me of Erickson. Erickson had that power sinker.
Lowe beat Mike Hampton in Atlanta this year, 7-2. Up the right field line.
If you were to charge the mound with Derek Lowe pitching, he would karate kick you.
Would he?
Yeah, because he looks like Steven Seagal.
That's true.
See, a little Steven Seagal going on right there.
All he needs is a ponytail, and he'd be there.
Yep.
Dimple. He had 42 saves with Boston in 2000 to lead the American League that year. He pitched a no-hitter in 2002, going 21-8 that year with Boston with a 2.58 ERA. The Pence takes a seat. That's strikeout number 1 for Lowe. And now Chris Johnson.
Lowe, we talked about how difficult he is to elevate. Doesn't give up a lot of home runs, so if he doesn't walk people, he's tough to come back against because you don't get a lot of extra base hits, and he gets a lot of ground balls. So you're always worried about the double play, and you're not inclined to start runners and steal when you're down 5 runs. Although you might have to change your thinking against a guy like Derek Lowe. But he's freed up now. He's got this 5-run lead, so he can be aggressive. Just trust his good movement and start that ball for home plate and try to be quick and efficient.
Johnson made his major league debut last night. Here's a bouncer and on past Chipper Jones, fielded by Escobar, who throws him out. So he's 0 for 3 as a major leaguer. But that was the icebreaker for him last night, coming in for the injured Jeff Blum and playing third for a few innings. And his father Ron will be here this weekend.
It's kind of fun. It almost looked like Chipper was trying to deke Escobar.
Lowe gets the ground ball out and moves on to face Chris Coast. Chris, a .229 hitter. They strike one. Edwin Masonette is in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Roy Oswalt if Coast reaches base. 2 homers, 17 runs batted in for Chris. It's 0-2. This is his 11th start at catcher. He's started 13 times at first base. As an Astro, he's had 86 at bats, hitting .209. Low, throws strike 3. And there's a 1-2-3 second with a couple of punch outs, leading 6-1 after 2. The third inning. Billy Sadler comes out of the Houston bullpen now to make his Astros debut. He's 5-4 in AAA, combined service between the Giants Fresno club and the Astros Round Rock club.
Yeah, hard throwing right-hander. He's had some injury problems. In his Astros debut, he spent big league time with the Giants in 2006, again last year.
Derek Lowe fouls it. It's 0-2. Billy turns 28 September 21st. He's from Pensacola, Florida. Went to Pensacola Community College and LSU. And he breaks one past Derek Lowe for a strikeout.
Nice way to break in and get the opposing pitcher up there. Not much of a threat. Seems to settle in.
Sadler 0-1 as a major league pitcher in 38 games with a 4.28 ERA for the Giants in 06 and last year. And he has not started a game in the major leagues yet. Nate McLouth is 2 for 2, a homer and an infield hit. Broken bat roller. Berkman goes for it, tossing to Sadler. 2 outs. Roy Oswalt in 2 innings allowed 10 hits, 6 runs, with 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Strange pitching line there.
Bart Ennis is waiting. Bart.
Well, Brownie, folks want to head out to Minute Maid Park on Saturday as the first 10,000 fans will score a Jose Valverde bobblehead courtesy of Citgo. Here's the trick. One lucky fan will get the Golden Bobble. The winner of the Golden Bobble will win 4 dugout box tickets to the game, a meet and greet with Jose Valverde, and a jersey. For tickets, go to Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Somebody going after that Golden Bobble.
Well, JD took it home with him last night, so they're not going to get it.
Hang with it, folks.
That doesn't sound right.
I'm going to auction it off. Starting at $1,000.
Make your checks out to the Jim Deshaies Travel Fund. 1 ball, 1 strike on Escobar. Fly ball to center field. Michael Bourne waiting. Billy Sadler, welcome to the Astros at 1-2-3 third inning. Back to Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston. It is 6-1. Atlanta leading Houston. Billy Sadler, the batter. And he takes strike 1 from Derek Lowe as he leads off the home third inning. Sadler in his 2nd career at bat trying to get something started. The Astros got a run in the 1st, and then Lowe got a double play ball to end it.
Not sure how stiff the high school competition was, or if he remembers what he did back then, but in high school he hit .452. Had 8 home runs, drove in 41.
Bounces this to Escobar's right.
Reasonable hack.
Yeah. 1 out for Lowe. Sadler, a 6th round pick in 03 of the Giants. Michael Bourne grounded out from the first baseman LaRoche to the pitcher covering in the 1st inning. A very close call. We were talking about Wesley Wright a few minutes ago, and also chatting about him with Cecil Cooper. And Cooper really thinks that Wesley's developing some new stuff that he could use in a variety of ways, and is pretty intrigued by what Wesley has done to make himself a better pitcher this year. He said he might be a starter. Ground ball in the hole, backhanded. Forget about throwing. He tried it anyway, but there was absolutely no chance for Escobar to get Michael Bourne, who reaches on the infield hit. Looked good though. .39 infield hits.
And just missed one the first time up. That bang bang play at first base this time. That's a good approach here, trying to poke it through that hole between 3rd and short. Escobar will get to it and get plenty on the throw, but you're not going to get Michael Bourne in that kind of a play. So he blows out a hand going down the line.
Yeah. Came into this game tied for 1st in infield hits in the National League. Matsui takes a strike. He singled to left, stole 2nd, and scored on the hit by Carlos Lee in the 1st inning. That's Berkman on deck. The Astros trying to chip away at Derek Lowe here. Astros handed that big lead. 3 runs in the first and then 3 more in the second. And Braves have out hit the Astros 10-3 to this point. 2005 through last year in the National League, only Brandon Webb, Roy Oswalt, and Aaron Harang had more innings than Derek Lowe.
I pencil him in every year. 30+ starts, 200 innings, double digits in wins. Not a youngster anymore, but really showing no signs of aging. This is what we were talking about last inning. You're down 5 runs. You are inclined not to be too risky on the bases. With a guy who's such an extreme ground ball pitcher, it might change your thinking a little bit, just to stay out of double plays.
Only Brandon Webb has a better ground ball to fly ball ratio since 2002 than Derek Lowe. Still a 1-2 count. Five ground outs, 2 strikeouts in this game. Just tough to lift that sinker. It's so hard, that late downward movement by Lowe. Hard to square it up.
And Matsui had that base hit to left field first time up on a pitch that was down around his ankles. The key is to be willing to shoot the ball the other way. Try to pull it, and he's throwing a sinker down and away. It's almost always going to be a ground ball. Matsui's a tough man to double, especially hitting from the left side.
You're thinking about trying to hit home runs to get back in this game. That's not anything that's worked very well against Derek Lowe. He's only given up 10. Little roller. Lowe comes over to barehanded, drops it, and now the Astros have 2 men on with 1 out for Lance Berkman.
Couple soft hits for the Braves in the second, got their inning started. Now the Astros counter with a ground ball to short and a tapper to the mound. Well, realizing that Matsui runs well, tries to pick that ball up with the bare hand. You see he recoils as he finishes his delivery, has to get started all over again to head in, and once he can't get the handle, he's got no shot.
Lowe's 3rd career start in this ballpark, and he's pitched well in both of the previous 2. Lance Berkman facing him. He walked. Big ball 1. Lowe pitched here in 06 against Andy Pettit. Got a no decision, giving up 1 run in 7 innings. And then in 07 he gave up 1 run in 4 innings and to leave with an injury. Berkman tops that foul. It's 1-1.
So you were talking about Wesley Wright as a starter. I talked to Wesley about that last year. At the time, he wasn't really interested in it, but given the nature of the free agent market for pitching, there's not going to be a lot out there. So obviously, it's going to be overpriced. So you've got a young kid that's not making a lot of money. He doesn't really profile as a dominant relief type left-hander anyway. He's got a good breaking ball and a good fastball. So I think it's a worthwhile experiment to see what he could do as a starter.
Well, you might have noticed it. I didn't, but since he came back from the minor leagues, he's pitched twice, and with nobody on base, he's gone back to the windup. He used to pitch out of the stretch with nobody on. Who pointed that out to me? Fly ball left center field, hit well. A long ride for Berkman, and did it get above the yellow line there? 3-run homer for Berkman that breaks the long home run drought and gives the Astros 3 big runs. 6-4 ball game. Only the 11th homer allowed by Derek Lowe in 174 innings. So it's improbable, but Berkman has hit number 19, and he's entered a stretch of 109 at bats and 32 games without a long ball.
Yes, one of the most ironic home runs ever. Drought Lance has been in, and the fact that Lowe doesn't give up many. And boy, that was awfully close. Let's see. Wow, yeah, but just maybe a foot or a few inches. Bobby Cox is going to come out and say, hey, I want to take a look at the replay on this one. So I won my call. Let's go out and check in with the third base umpire.
It's Paul Emmel.
So, Paul, how sure are you on this one? Is it worth taking a look at?
And it is a light background, as you know, on those archways above the yellow line. So tough to follow the flight of the baseball there. And now they'll call in the first base umpire, Gary Darling.
So my hunch is that since they're calling Gary in, they're probably going to take a look at it. I think if Emmel said, look, I could, no doubt in my mind that was a home run. As we look at it there, it looks clearly above the yellow line.
Gary Darling is the crew chief.
Again, they won't ask us. We could speed this process along. We're going to go look.
It shouldn't take that long. And of course, this is all controlled by Major League Baseball headquarters in New York. The home run replay review is right there for you. Decision to review is made by the crew chief, in this case, Gary Darling. And was it fair or foul? No question there. Fan interference? No. Or the ball leaving the playing field. Was it above the yellow line or not? That's what this is about. Managers cannot demand a replay review. And the crew chief can reverse a call after consultation with the umpires. There is a monitor right inside that tunnel where the umpires come out of their dressing area. And so it's just barely off the playing field, very close. And the process is speeded up by having that monitor close for the umpires.
As we were talking about with Lowe, if you're going to elevate him, you have to be looking to shoot the ball as a left-handed hitter the other way. The sinker moving down and away. Try to pull it.
Look at Lance. He's probably saying, I haven't hit a homer since July 9th, and now I'm not sure I just did. He really blasted that ball. And it is a home run. No doubter for a lot of these folks. Number 19 of the year for Lance, giving him 69 runs batted in.
And you know what? We've got a ball game all of a sudden.
Yes. That has changed the complexion of this evening. It's his second career homer off Lowe. And now it's a 2-run lead, 6-4 with one out, and Carlos Lee batting. He had an RBI single in the first inning.
Slider there from Lowe. He hasn't thrown many. He's leaning heavily on that sinker.
Well, a couple of things are happening with Lance. He pointed out last night that opposite field double that Lance hit in the ninth inning, batting left-handed to left field, and he just hit a long home run batting left-handed to left center field. Those are very good signs for Lance.
Hit the ball hard 3 times last night. Hit a bullet to the second baseman, knocked him on his backside.
He got that single, a line drive off the first baseman's mitt last night. Now, 4-pitch walk to Carlos, walk number 2, and the home run review, of course, made Derek Lowe inactive for a few minutes. It wasn't a long stoppage of play.
I'll tell you the other thing conspiring against the pitchers tonight, the home plate umpire, Kitchener's got a fairly tight zone.
Yeah. Bobby Cox shot. Now Miguel Tejada, who bounced into the 1-6-3 double play. One out in the inning. And there's ball one. Cecil Cooper said tonight before the game he thought about sending Carlos Lee in the second inning last night. Tejada at the plate in a 3-1 count. He didn't send him, and I think he bounced into a double play. Two-hopper here. Chipper Jones to second, and Kelly Johnson with the relay, and another double play. 2 and 2 at bats for Tejada in this game. But Berkman has drilled a 3-run homer to left center, and it's 6-4.
Welcome back to Minute Maid. 6-4 Braves. Back in the second, Brian McCann laced a double down the right field line here, and it hopped up into the stands and hit Gabriella here. Talk about the play, because you saved the Astros a run there for a moment anyway.
Yeah, I was really excited because, I really didn't know that I was really going to even get the ball. All I knew is that I got up from texting, and it hit me right here in the side, and I was like, wow.
Interrupted your texting.
Yes.
That's a problem. So it hit you in the hip?
Yeah.
It hurt?
Yes.
Got it, girl. You didn't rub it, did you?
No.
All right, that's it. Well, for that, you get our progressive fan of the game. You get a T-shirt in there. We'll see if we can get you some ice for the hip, okay? Way to go, Gabriella.
Thank you.
Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. That's some good investigative journalism right there. Here it is.
Kind of let that ball play her a little bit.
A little bit.
It's okay, though. I don't even get up and get her in the nose.
Chipper Jones drew the walk for Billy Sadler. Brian McCann's 2 for 2. He looks at strike one. Sadler had a 1-2-3 third in relief of Roy Oswalt. Sadler made 3 rehab appearances with the Astros Gulf Coast League affiliate. It's 1-1. He's happy to join a club based in the South. And from the South. Bouncer on through into right field. Chipper Jones going to second, and Braves stir up trouble here for Sadler. First and second, nobody out, and Garrett Anderson batting. It's Aflac trivia time now. McCann 3 for 3 in this game. Aflac! Well, let's see what we have tonight. What 3 players in tonight's game played in the '97 Auburn-Rice College World Series game?
Well,
Auburn and Rice. They're not all playing, but they're uniform.
I'm not going to answer it because we've got 2 already.
Okay.
I'll let people chew on that one.
Auburn and Rice. Garrett Anderson is 1 for 1 with 2 runs batted in with a sac fly. Ball 1 from Sadler. Sadler pitching at Round Rock, where John Gall retired in dramatic fashion on Monday.
What did he do?
Well, he had decided it would be his final game, and he went to Stanford. I think he was drafted in '98, so he's played pro ball for a while now. But he decided that was going to be it for him, and he had hoped to hit a home run. And if he had done that in his final plate appearance, he was going to take off his uniform top at home plate and salute the crowd. Well, he made an out in his final at bat, so that didn't work out. But coming out the field, he had to do something, he felt, so he took off his shoes, his baseball spikes, tied them together, draped them over the rail to the dugout, and went into the dugout after his final professional plate appearance. And the fans gave him a standing ovation. He came out and saluted.
So he literally hung him up.
He hung him up.
I like
in
it.
front of everybody.
I like it. I'm trying to think of the pitcher years ago. Mark Lee, maybe?
Yeah.
Some kind of a deal, kind of a journeyman up and down, but a lot of years in AAA, and he did the same thing. He was on the mound and peeled his jersey off. No mas.
Anderson fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mark Bombard managed Round Rock this year, and he called in the 3 players, Billy Sadler and Tommy Manzella and Chris Johnson, after the game Monday, and told them we're headed up to the big league club. Of course, they had some idea, but weren't really sure until then. Line drive into center, charged by Bourne. Here's Chipper Jones coming home. Bourne throws, and it's offline. It's now 7-4. And the RBI single by Anderson. He's driven in 3 now. McCann goes to third.
Yeah, this McCann-Anderson duo has been something else here tonight. The Astros get in it, and look like they're going to make a ball game out of it. And the Braves threatening to blow it open again. Sadler up with the fastball. He needs to be a little more precise with that heater. He's hung a couple of changeups too. And get it back down around the knees.
Anderson at first, McCann at third for LaRoche. strikes at ball one. He had an RBI single in the second after striking out in the first inning.
But Sadler knew he was coming up.
Yeah,
because he was told when he signed, he was promised the September call up.
That's right. If healthy, he was promised that he would be here. 2 balls, no strikes. But sometimes even though until you get the official word, you might not believe it. There's Wesley Wright warming up now. 2 balls and a strike, and it's all kinds of interesting stories here from players who have been toiling in the minors all year. Now they're here in the big leagues for the first time all season in the case of Sadler, or in their whole lives in the case of Manziel and Johnson. Parents come in, friends. Good stories in the month of September.
And maybe John Gall, when he hit a home run late in the year, should have just made his exit then instead of waiting till the final game.
Yeah, that's.
Now, if you want to make sure you go out on top,
putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I think you're going to go deep in your final plate appearance.
Very few people have done that. Sadler throws to first. Kansas City beat Detroit today 7-4 at Kansas City. Tigers had a 5.5 game lead over Minnesota coming into play today. They're trying to go worst to first this year.
Well, swept the Tigers in that series.
Alex Gordon hit a home run, as well as Roberto Callaspo. Gordon has been in the minor leagues for a while now. Jared Washburn started, but the loser was Zach Miner for Detroit. Good breaking ball, strikes out LaRoche. 1 out now. Sadler can get a double play ball. On Church, he's out of the inning.
Tight rotation on that curveball. Just drop it down below the knees. LaRoche out in front. Second time he's punched out tonight. Coop going to make a move.
Wesley Wright, the lefty, versus Ryan Church. Go lefty on lefty here with the score. Atlanta 7, Houston. And Tim Hudson of Auburn right there in that College World Series game. And Hudson hit a home run in that game. The Auburn Tigers.
Who won the College World Series that year? Doesn't matter, does it really?
Not really. Wesley Wright is 3-2. His ERA 5.61. But it's come down with his last 3 appearances since he returned from the minor leagues. And the pinch hitter is Matt Diaz. He's batting for Church. Braves going with a right-handed hitter here. And Diaz fouls it for strike 1.
Interesting move by Bobby Cox. bringing right into the game, feeling like he had the advantage, probably not anticipating Cox pinch hitting this early in the ball game.
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen, but he has a pretty good idea what he's doing.
Well, it's September. Extra bodies on the bench. Use more resources early and not worry about running out if you get into a long, protracted extra inning affair. Kind of a go for it situation. They've extended the lead and got a chance to add another one.
Diaz was 2 for 3 last night. Drove in a run against the lefty Wandy Rodriguez. He had a really good month of August. Grounds it to third. Johnson to second. Matsui, no double play, and the Braves get another run home to make it 8-4. Diaz picking up the RBI, bouncing into that force play. That's his 46th run batted in. Ball slowly hit to Johnson. And McCann scores the second run of the inning.
Yeah, jammed him a little bit. Didn't hit it all that hard, and that played to the Braves' advantage. No double play, RBI for Diaz, and I'm guessing Bobby Cox apologized to Ryan Church when he pinch hit for him. Because it is so. Hey, Church, I hate to do it to you, man, but Bobby's always been known as a player's manager. So it's not like you don't make the move if you feel like it's the right move to do. But he probably said, I know it's early to get you out of there, just the fourth inning, but this is why I'm doing it. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm one of the best ever, so got a problem with it. Call your agent, pal.
I'm on my way to the Hall of Fame, and you're not. There's ball one to Johnson. No, he wouldn't say that. What a nice guy.
Yeah, he's
swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, on the bench before batting practice Tuesday, he greeted Ryan Church. He came out there, very nice greeting, and you just got the impression, hey, what a nice guy to be around. If you're going to be a ball player,
just don't be an umpire.
No. I don't think he greets him that way. This is a fair ball. Past Berkman into foul territory down the right field line. Hunter Pence, as the ball gets stuck and a fan reaches over and interferes with it. Hunter never got to the ball.
Not only is this guy grabbing that ball, he's about to get ejected, yeah. but he's kind of standing up and celebrating the fact he didn't realize that that's a no-no.
No. Well, now. Double for Johnson.
It's just too tempting. In front of a low railing so close to the play.
Lance got his mitt on it. So it's Diaz at third, Johnson at second for Derek Lowe with 2 outs. And ball 1. Now Wesley Wright explained his curveball is about an 82-mile-per-hour pitch. Slider's more up around 86. So that guy who got the ball is escorted out. Fly ball hanging to right center field. Hunter Pence coming in. Takes care of the third out. The Braves tack on 2 runs.
stains. Carlos Lee and Alex Rodriguez are the only two players in Major League Baseball to reach 20 or more home runs in each year of this decade. Only two right there, Carlos Lee and A-Rod. Babe Ruth did it in the 20s. Mel Ott and Jimmy Fox in the 30s. Gil Hodges in the 50s. Henry Aaron in the 60s. Red Jake Jackson in the 70s. Barry Bonds and Matt Williams in the 90s.
Matt Diaz comes in to play right field for Ryan Church after pinch hitting for him. 8-4. The Braves have out hit the Astros 13-5. Hunter Pence struck out looking in the second against Derek Lowe. Lowe with a big outpouring of run support early in this game. Not always had that this year. He's pitched 20 quality starts at his 29th. He's up for that one, and it's ball one. Braves are 17-12 when Lowe is their starting pitcher this year.
That's the guy I think Hunter should be able to do some damage against.
He might get a pitch right here. Make it damaging on Derek Lowe.
Sinker, elevate a little bit, have it running in on him, and just get the head out and hit it 600 feet. Not that one. That's a dandy there.
Willie Sadler in 1 1/3 innings allowed 2 hits, 2 runs. He had 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. There's some damage. Nice line drive hit to center field for Hunter. He waited for that pitch. You said the previous one wasn't very good, but that one was a lot better to hit.
That one was up a little bit. Didn't hit it 600 feet, but he hit it right on the button.
That's a start.
Talked about it earlier. It's a tough pitch for a sinker baller to make. A right-hander trying to go down and away to a right-handed hitter. You get so much movement. There's a tendency to run back towards the middle of the plate.
It's Johnson run it out to shortstop earlier. That's ball one. It's a great time for these young players. Not only to get in some playing time, and there may not be a whole lot, but to absorb the major league atmosphere. Age 24 for Chris.
Yeah, get the major league money.
That's true.
That can be a big difference maker.
You know it. Stetson University, born in Naples, Florida. And he was beamed in that simulated game by Yorman Bizzardo Tuesday afternoon on his very first day in the big leagues. Had a headache from that.
These guys will make more this month than they made their entire minor league season.
Really?
Sure. What's major league minimum? $400 grand.
Yeah.
So you get about a sixth of that. What's that? A sixth of $400 grand.
80,000. Around there, maybe. That's a guess. There's some mathematicians out there who know exactly how much it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We talked last night about his dad, Ron Johnson, who played in the big leagues, Kansas City and Montreal, and now manages at Pawtucket. That's strike 3 for Lowe. He gets his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Minor league players, AAA players, you know what they make these days. The veterans, like minor league free agents, guys have been around a long time, they can make up to about $10,000 a month, but the youngsters on the way up will not. So I'm guessing these guys are probably making $2,500 a month, something like that, $3,000 a month maybe.
Chris Coast.
That's a good question. We'll find out the answer.
We can find out if we really want to. There's strike 1. Coast struck out looking in the 2nd inning.
That's one of those things that people at home would go, hey, well, it's curious. What do minor leaguers make?
Yeah. Well, of course, the first year, that's rock bottom wages, or first year at A-ball. Aaron Boone is on deck.
And I don't know if it's obviously it's changed some over the years. There's no such thing as a minor league baseball players association.
No.
This one story I'm seeing online here, this was posted back in 2005. It said that first year players are making $850, Class A $1,200 to $1,400, AAA 16 to 2,000 a month. It's probably a little higher than that now. When I was playing, I think when I was in AAA, I got $1,300 a month, maybe.
So you probably weren't stocking your 401k at that point.
No. In the 8-ball, the first year after the draft, maybe $600 a month for that short season.
Yeah. You gotta want it. Chris Coast knows all about those wages. Fly ball left field will dunk in front of Garrett Anderson. And Coast with a single gets Pence to second base. 2 on, 1 out, and now the pinch hitter is Aaron Boone.
High two-seam fastball, not a lot of sink, just a little movement in. It's Coast in towards the hands a little bit, but Chris still able to muscle it and give himself a knock.
Boone would love to get his first hit as an Astro. He's 0 for 5 with Houston this year. 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. He got that start at first base in Chicago. There's ball 1, but Aaron said tonight before the game he does not expect to play very much. He understands the youngsters need to get their playing time. One ball, 1 strike. He said, I just feel like being here is a bonus. He's 36 years old. This apparently is going to be it for him after open heart surgery in March. That in itself is a major story, not what he does here. Ground ball to third. Chipper Jones throwing to first gets Boone as the runners move up to second and third. 2 outs.
Yeah, it has been a remarkable comeback for Aaron Boone. I just hope that at some point there's one big moment for him. Either a big hit or does something, hits one out of the ballpark. That would be a lot of fun.
Wouldn't it though? Way to go out. He'll forever be known for that playoff home run he hit for the Yankees in 03 to beat the Red Sox and the Yankees to the World Series in the extra inning game. Michael Bourne reached on an infield hit to shortstop and scored in the 3rd inning. He is 1 for 2. Line drive into right field. Hunter Pence scores. Stop sign for Chris Coast. And it's 8-5 as the Astros score on the Bourne single. His 34th run batted in. He continues to have a phenomenal batting average with men in scoring position this year.
Well, Derek Lowe has to go 5 innings to qualify for the win here tonight. I don't know how long Bobby Cox is going to wait before he makes a move. Still has a 3-run lead. I'm not sure that Bobby is brimming with confidence in his bullpen right now.
True. Bourne was hitting .380 before that hit with men in scoring position. Matsui's 2 for 2. Looking at ball 1. Matsui also has scored twice. Lance Berkman on deck. If Matsui delivers, it's going to get really interesting here in the 4th inning.
It's going to be wild and wacky.
1 ball and 1 strike. This could be one of those nights.
We were in the 8th inning at this time last night.
Yeah. This could be the anti last night. This game could go for hours and hours and hours. Many hits.
So there's no clock.
Dan Uggla hit his 27th home run for the Marlins at New York, and they lead the Mets 9-4 in the middle of the 7th inning. Sean West started that game for Florida. Here's Bourne taking off. Here's the throw from McCann, and it hits him. And he steals it for the 53rd stolen base. Coast holding on this steal by Bourne, but if that ball had rolled away, he might have tried to come in.
And had he known it wasn't going to be handled at second base, he could have scored, but you don't know that as the play is developing.
The count is 1-2. That pitch was a strike, and Bourne is third in the majors behind Ellsbury and Crawford. And Lowe comes back and gets a strikeout to end the Astros' 4th inning. They put up a run on 3 hits, and Strand 2 is 8-5 Braves through 4. 150. And by Jack Daniels. Here downtown Houston, it's 8-5. The Braves lead it after 4. And pitcher number 4 already in the game for Houston. Wilton Lopez off 92 pitches against the D-backs on August 28th, and those were his numbers.
This is his first appearance since then. That's his only appearance in an Astro uniform this year. 4-5, 4.73 ERA, 29 games, 15 of which were starts for AA Corpus Christi this year. He was Corpus Christi's pitcher of the month for August, so a hot pitcher when he came to the big leagues. See what Wilton brings to the table tonight. It's a tough task for a young kid to come up and make one appearance and sit the pen for a while before getting another opportunity, but that's the nature of the beast.
Well, that was his major league debut, that game at Arizona. And now he faces Nate McLeod in his second major league game and throws strike one to McLeod for his 2 for 3. Braves have banged out 13 hits for their 8 runs. Wesley Wright in 2/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, no runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. Matsui falls but throws from a knee. A good quick movement to his right. His footing gave way, but he stayed with it for out number 1.
We were talking about Lonnie Smith last night. I used to call him Skates. It's kind of a Lonnie Smith type move right there. If he's kicking out from underneath Matsui, he's out there checking his spikes right now.
Yeah, he made a good play. And now it's Escobar. Escobar is 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. That's strike one for Wilton Lopez. So the Astros looking at some different arms here in September. Lopez, 26 years old, from Nicaragua. Has a 1-1 count. And he was a waiver claim by the Astros back in April. Started his career in the Yankee organization before signing with San Diego. 2 balls and a strike for Wilton Lopez. He was named Corpus Christi's pitcher of the month for August. 1.23 ERA that month. We were just handed about an inning ago the Astros minor league MVPs for the season. A prestigious award. That was a pretty good pitch. All 3. 3-1. 8 MVPs selected by the field staff of each team. They'll be recognized here on Saturday, September 26th, prior to the game of the Reds. Escobar draws a walk. He's on with 1 out.
Who did we get, Brownie? Who won those awards?
Tommy Manzella was the MVP of the Round Rock Express. And he was Defensive Player of the Month twice for Round Rock and named by Baseball America as the Astros' best defensive infielder prior to this season. Fielded well this year. So congratulations to Tommy. At Corpus Christi, it was Drew Lock, the MVP. A magical season. Throw to first. Escobar back. Drew Lock came from the Dodgers in the minor league draft. The Astros really picked a gem. He hit .338, 20 homers, 109 runs batted in. And he was a midseason All-Star. Finished first in Texas League in batting average. Hits and runs batted in, second in slugging. So that was quite a pickup for the Astros over last winter. Drew Lock, he got hurt at the end of the year. And then Kobe Clemens was the MVP at Lancaster for the Jethawks. Jones takes the ball, and it's 2-0 to Chipper. Kobe hit .345, 22 homers, 45 doubles. He led the minors in runs batted in, 121. And he caught and played the outfield some and other positions. He slugged .636 and a .419 on base percentage, an OPS of 1,055. JB.
Big numbers.
Yep. He was a postseason All-Star in the California League.
I mean, Lancaster's a good hitter's ballpark, so you can put up some numbers there. But I don't care where you're playing. You put up those kind of numbers, you're having a year.
Yes, you are.
121 driven in, 345 batting average.
3-0 to Chipper. 3 balls, 1 strike. At Lexington, outfielder first baseman Brian Pellegrini was the team MVP. He hit .291, 27 homers, 74 runs batted in. Tri-City, infielder Barry Butera was team MVP.
Is that Sal's kid?
That's a good question. I don't think so, but we'll have to check on that. I think Sal Butera's kid is in another organization. 3-2. Greenville had a team MVP, Jose Altuve, at 324. Gulf Coast League, Enrique Hernandez, and Astros Dominican Summer League, Hector Rodriguez. So they'll all get those plaques. I believe it's plaques they're given, those awards, for that game here on Saturday, September 26th.
They should all get cars.
Runner going on 3-2, swing and a miss. Coast with the throw and on through into center field. Escobar will hold at second base. After stealing that bag, his 4th steal of the year. The strikeout of Jones was out number 2.
Mission accomplished at home plate, getting Chipper Jones to swing and miss for a punch out, and then the throw a little bit short, Miggy not able to pick it, but fortunately Escobar does not advance any further. This throw coming up just a little bit shy.
Yeah. Ball arrived ahead of the runner. Escobar with his 4th steal, in scoring position now with 2 outs for Brian McCann. McCann 3 for 3 tonight with an RBI and 2 runs scored.
Odds are in the Astros' favor here.
Meaning that it's tough to get 4 straight hits in a major league game.
We've got 3 hits in the first 4 innings.
Yeah. Strike 1 to McCann. He's gone to glasses this year. Has had some eye problems.
He's on a pace to get 7 hits in this game. Wow, that strike zone he might.
Let's see. Rennie Stennett got 7 hits in a game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He went 7 for 7. There's been a few guys that get 7 hits, but I think Rennie Stennett may be the only 7 for 7 guy.
Line, and there is hit number 4 into left center field to score run number 9 for the Braves. They lead at 9-5. McCann 4 for 4 in this game. That's his 2nd RBI of the night, 77th of the year. He's been a line drive machine tonight.
He's hitting them all over the field too.
He's defying the odds, JD.
A double down the right field line. This is his 3rd single. 1 to center, 1 to right. Now this one out there to left center field.
There's a board for Garrett Anderson. Anderson has 2 hits, 3 runs batted in. Berkman takes the 1 hopper. Goes to first, and the Braves get a run on 1 hit, leave a man. They extend their lead to 9-5. League leaders, the all-time leaders in hits in New York Yankees history. Derek Jeter tied Lou Gehrig last night. Then it's Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle. Jeter a Hall of Famer for sure. How many hits will he have at the end of his career? He'll be on a path to get well over 3,000 if he continues to play, and he's 35 right now. Lance Berkman ripped a 3-run homer in the third after he drew a walk in the first. Strike one. Nationals are drubbing the Phillies in Washington 8-2 in the top of the 9th inning. One ball, one strike. Joe Blanton started. He was tagged for 8 earned runs in 4 2/3. Brad Lidge has pitched a scoreless inning in that game. Ivan Hernandez was the starter and pitched well for the Nats.
Marlins with a comfortable lead over the Mets, 9-4 in New York tonight in the 7th inning. And a win, they will pull within 5 games of the Phillies.
Braves have a chance to move to within 8. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Some of the Braves players are talking about those furious finishes the last few years that teams have had in September. That's what they know it's going to take for them right now at 71 and 68. Berkman pulls one foul. Matt Stairs now has just hit a grand slam to make it 8-6 Nationals. 1 out for the Phillies in the top of the 9th inning. I believe that's the 9th grand slam for the Phillies this year. Berkman strikes out. That's number 5 for Lowe.
Lowe has made 80 pitches in this game. He has not been particularly sharp, but he's got a 4-run lead as he works here in the bottom half of the 5th. And again, he needs to finish this inning, of course, to qualify for the win. But a veteran pitcher like Lowe, with his credentials, he's expecting a lot more out of himself than just 5 innings to qualify for a win when his team scores 9 runs for him. He wants to go as deep as possible and save the bullpen.
Close lead with strike one. Lowe was in one slump this year. He lost to the Washington Nationals, and that continued his slump. He was 0-4 with an 8.61 ERA in 5 starts. One ball, one strike. Randy Wolf is going to miss a start for the Dodgers. He's going to get a shot on his left elbow. And they are playing the Rockies this weekend. They'll adjust their rotation to do without Wolf for one turn at least. 1-2, and Tim Lincecum missed that start for the Giants last night with a bad back. They lost. Center field, McLeod moves in for the running play. 2 outs. Let's go to Bart now.
Well, if you got kids, listen up. The Astros and Minute Maid have extended the kids free all summer ticket deal through the end of the season. For every full price adult ticket you purchase in select seating levels, you can get 2 free kids tickets, kids 14 and under. Get your tickets at astros.com or come to the Minute Maid Park box office. But free's a pretty good deal, Bill. Free's pretty good.
Yeah, you can't beat free.
Yeah, free's pretty good.
Well, we were watching those kids celebrate last night as the Astros got the walk-off win. They were having a great time. Miguel Tejada's 0 for 2, 2 double play balls by Tejada. 26 for the year now for Miggy. There's strike one.
And Miggy's probably glad that Carlos didn't reach first. Hey, double or nothing, pal. Joe Torre once grounded into 4 double plays in one game.
It's a tough night.
Yeah, it's a record you don't want to go after.
1 ball and 1 strike. Toronto beat Minnesota 3-2. Brett Cecil the winner over Scott Baker. Derek Lowe shoots for win number 14. Tough luck. Jair Jurgens pitches for the Braves tomorrow in St. Louis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jurgens really has great numbers this year, but he's a .500 pitcher. 10-10 with a 2.93 earned run average. It'll be Jurgens versus Joel Pinheiro tomorrow night in St. Louis. 2-2.
Yeah, that's why one-loss record is not where to go when you're looking at evaluating a pitcher's year. Very deceiving.
Lowe has 20 quality starts. The Braves staff has 84. That's tied for second in the majors. Fly ball to right. Diaz back on the track for a 1-2-3 fifth. It's the second 1-2-3 frame for Lowe. Through 5, the Braves lead at 9-5. Now for our Dodge Grab Live feature, Wesley Wright, who do you look up to?
My parents. One for them, I wouldn't be here. So everything that I've achieved up until this point, I owe it all to them. So that would be my greatest love.
Wesley Wright, one of 4 pitchers to work in this game for the Astros so far. And right now it's Wilton Lopez. And he made his debut with the Astros in Arizona, as we mentioned. He had just arrived and came in the 3rd inning. Ronald Luzardo had pitched the first 2. Works ball 1 there to Adam LaRoche, and he was hungry. Had been traveling all day. Wolfed down some food right before game time. Found himself in the ball game shortly after that. 1 ball, 1 strike. And it did not go well. So tonight, now having a chance to settle in with this club a little bit more. Trying to put up a lot better outing than he did in that game at Arizona.
Was he sick in that game?
I don't think he was sick. I think he just ate too close to the time that he performed athletic.
It's a big league spread. Look at this stuff.
And he hadn't had food in hours and hours and hours. You know how it is. You starve, you get around good food. It's human nature. Let's go for it. Matsui with a good play. Berkman laid out for it, but Matsui kept on his feet and got it to the pitcher for a 4-1 play.
Good heads-up play by Lopez, not quitting on the play. Sometimes you see a pitcher assume that it's going to be a 4-3 put out, and then he breaks to cover the right side and stays on his course, covers first base. We're talking about him being full. It reminded me of that old Jerry Coleman story in San Diego, and he said, Rich Volkers is throwing up in the bullpen. To say he was up throwing in the bullpen, getting ready to pitch, but it didn't come out that way.
No. Matt Diaz bats now. He got an RBI when he bounced into a force play in the 4th inning as the pinch hitter for Ryan Church. And now he sends one to center field. Michael Bourne moving in. 2 down.
The MD Anderson Cancer Center brings you this date in Astros history. On this date, 2005, Craig Biggio becomes the 13th major leaguer to reach 600 doubles. First player in big league history to combine 600 doubles, 2,700 hits, 250 home runs, 400 steals. His 3 hits give him 2,777. That passes Andre Dawson for 43rd on the all-time list.
Strike to Kelly Johnson. He's walked and doubled in 3 trips. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. There's a look at the doubles leaders. Fly ball outside the left field line goes out of play, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Phillies are still working. In the top of the 9th, they have scored 5 runs. They trailed the Nationals 8-7 with 1 out, and Shane Victorino at second. Chase Utley is batting against. Looks like Ron Vallone is in there now. Yeah, Big Rig is in there. Fouled away.
Now the Big Rig. He's been there all year, but did we even see him pitch?
We didn't see him
at all.
No.
Because you kind of remember the Rig when he comes in. He's a big man.
Dropped a 5 spot on him. And now it's a 1-run lead. Rolled out to second. Matsui over to Berkman. Good. 1-2-3, 6th inning for Wilton Lopez. 9-5. Showing you Lance Berkman breaking a long homerless drought. He hits it just above the yellow line in left center field for a home run number 19. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. There it is. It was reviewed by the umpiring crew, and Gary Darling, the crew chief, indicated the home run call was correct. Well, that made it a 3-run blast for Berkman in the 3rd inning. The Astros trailed 6-4. Now they're down 9-5. Derek Lowe working to Hunter Pence. Singled and scored in the 4th. And it's ball 1 to Hunter. Chris Johnson is on deck. Chris Coast is due up 3rd.
90 pitches for Derek Lowe in this ball game. Action in the Braves bullpen. They got a lefty warming out there.
O'Flaherty, Eric O'Flaherty. Into right field for Hunter Pence. He's done some great right field hitting on this homestand. He's 2 for 3 in this game. 9 hits allowed by Lowe.
This would be a real good time for a first major league knock.
Oh, wouldn't it though? Chris Johnson. Berkman belted that homer. Johnson has grounded out and struck out looking. And takes strike one. Johnson was hit by a pitch in the second game of the season for Round Rock, and he was out for weeks with that injury. It wasn't broken, but I think it was micro fractures. Not a big break, but he couldn't play with it and had to sit out for weeks. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that was frustrating for him, but he did end the season in a very good fashion. He hit .333 in the month of August for Round Rock. Two balls and a strike. The Astros got a long look at him in spring training when Aaron Boone had to have the surgery. Now, Stacey Cooper wanted to see even more under the spotlight of Major League play. Fouls that one off his foot. Chris wound up hitting .281, 13 homers, 42 runs batted in, and 384 at bats for Round Rock. But in August, he had 7 homers, 20 runs batted in, and 108 at bats. Very good production. 2-2 to Chris Johnson. And he rolls it out to shortstop. Escobar to second with a force play on Pence. 1 out. Chris Coast will bat next with Darren Erstad coming out to the on-deck circle with a pitcher spot due up after Coast. Coast singled to left in the 4th. He's 1 for 2. Well, you have the stories of the September call-ups. Sammy Hervasio warming up in the bullpen. The story of other players vying for making an impression for next year, such as Chris Coast. There was a story about him a few days ago in which he said he kind of feels like he's fighting for his career at this point. Foul ball makes it no balls, 2 strikes.
If he doesn't make it back to the big leagues after this season, he's got options. He's a pretty sharp guy. He's written a couple books.
Yeah, he was a broadcaster. 13 years in the minors. Phil Boudreau is pointing over this way. JD, do you think he wants to get rid of us?
Well, he can come get this job anytime he wants it.
It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Well, Chris Coast has had a chance to learn a lot about the game with all his various experiences. He's even pitched in 5 games in the minors. Line to Chipper Jones, throw it first. He throws it away. And Johnson will get to second base on the overthrow. He was nearly doubled off. Had to go back in head first. Chipper might have had him with an accurate throw. And Chipper draws the error for that errant throw, his 19th error of the year.
Yeah, you see the secondary lead by Chris Johnson. The ball hit sharply, and he starts to break, but it's on a line, so he's got to scramble back. He would have beat it. That's partially on Adam LaRoche, too. I think you got to come off the bag and make sure you catch that ball.
Now, Erstad has been announced as the pinch hitter. Lefty O'Flaherty's been warming up. Bobby Cox will make the move right here to get Derek Lowe out of this game. He's in line for win number 14. But he's surrendered 9 hits and 5 runs so far. Atlanta 9, Houston 5. Back in a moment. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. It'll be lefty Eric O'Flaherty with a 1-1 record, 67 appearances, a 3.28 ERA versus pinch hitter Darren Erstad. Erstad hitting .205, 2 homers, 11 runs batted in.
Yeah, too many ABs lately. The neck problem was bothering him a while back. See the breakdown versus righties and lefties. It's starting to get things going there a few weeks ago.
0 for 2 in this series, 0 for 3 on the homestand.
The issue that Coop has on his bench is that Darren Erstad's the only left-handed bat he's got. Cox having a left-handed warm in the bullpen, he probably knew he was going to get this confrontation, but yeah, maybe just wanted Derek Lowe out of the game.
Strike to Erstad. He's caught looking to end the 6th inning with no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. It's 9-5 Braves. Lopez in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, 1 run. He had 1 walk and struck out 1. Hervasio is 1-0. His ERA is 0.87.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. Very good numbers for Sammy. Good year down in the minor leagues. Stepped in, kind of filling that role that Alberto Arias had early in the year before Alberto first started to struggle a little bit and then got hurt. Hopefully he'll make it back. I'd like to see him pitch a little bit more before the end of the year.
Yeah. Got an irritation behind his kneecap right now.
Jeff Blum left the ballpark in a boot last night. Collision out at second base.
Now O'Flaherty, who came in to get that final out on Erstad, is coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1 as a major league hitter. He struck out in that at bat. Derek Lowe went 5 2/3 innings, allowing 9 hits, 5 runs, walking 2, fanning 5. And that's ball 1 to O'Flaherty. It's a 1-ball-1-strike count. The Nationals held off the Phillies 8-7. Phillies getting 5 in the 9th inning, including a grand slam by pinch hitter Matt Stairs. Ron Vallone got the save, his first of the year, and he got Ryan Howard to ground into a double play to end it.
He didn't back into that save then, by
no,
golly.
He did not. Ivan Hernandez, the winner. He's 8-10. Joe Blanton, the loser, is 9-7. There's a strikeout for Sammy Hervasio. Strikeout number 9 for Astros pitchers. Strange night. Roy Oswalt gave up hits to the first 4 batters in the game, allowing 10 hits and 6 runs in 2 innings. And Nate McLeod started this game with a home run on a 1-0 pitch. Then got an infield hit in the second. He's 2 for 4. He's never beaten the Braves in the regular season. The only National League team he's not beaten, and now we'll have to wait until next year now. There's ball 1. The Astros have won 10 of their last 13 at home. Look like opera glasses there.
Have you been to the opera?
No?
No. Have you?
You should try it. Yes.
What'd you think?
I loved it. But the setting was hard to beat. Rome, Italy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. When you go to the opera, you usually step up in class.
The Baths of Caracalla.
Wow.
Yeah, that was big time. 3 balls and strikes.
Did the fat lady sing?
It was Aida. Yeah, I think several of them did. 3 balls and a strike. And there were horses and chariots and elephants up on stage. It was a big show. And that's a walk to McLeod. He's a Gordon one out, and it lasted, of course, late into the night. But that's no big deal with it. Italians, right? They're all for it. They would stay up till 3 in the morning to hear opera.
They love their opera.
Yunel Escobar has 2 hits and a walk. He has scored 3 runs tonight. Stolen a base. Made some good plays at shortstop as well. Good all-around game for Escobar. Seattle and the Angels are underway. No score. Top of the 2nd inning in Anaheim. Rangers are off tonight. They're putting some heat on the Angels.
They've got, I believe, 7 games left with the Angels as well. So they're going to get their shot.
And they've played well against the Angels. They're 4.5 back of Los Angeles coming into this game tonight. Rangers are only 2 games out of the wild card lead, with Boston having that lead right now. Into center field for a hit for Escobar. And the big night continues as he reaches base for the 4th time. Our Jack in the Box standings will show you the wild card races, in fact, in the majors right now. There they are.
The Rockies out in front of the Giants by 4.5 games now. The Rockies, were so hot for so long. Then they hit a little bit of a tailspin, dropped, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. And then immediately turned it around and gotten hot again. 21 games over 500, and the Giants scrambling to keep pace. Marlins got a fighting chance, but right now they're a little bit closer to the division lead than they are to the wild card. The Phillies showing some signs of vulnerability. They're probably in pretty good shape.
Chipper Jones has an RBI single and a walk tonight. They strike 1. Now, some people are thinking right now the St. Louis Cardinals might be the best team in the National League. They've won 84 games. That's more than anybody else. 596 winning percentage. That's the best.
Yeah, it would be hard to argue with that. With Wainwright and Carpenter, what they're doing at the top of that rotation. Matt Holliday, DeRosa, Lugo, the additions they've brought to the lineup. And Albert going off again, too. Albert had kind of gotten quiet for a while, but he's been going nuts lately.
He really has. And John Smoltz settling into that rotation. I was thinking maybe he would be a setup guy for the playoffs. Don Sutton says no. Shortstop. He said he doesn't want to do it. Tejada gets it over to first. And that's a double play for the Astros to end the top of the 7th inning, 9-5 Braves.
His teammate, Fat Albert Pujols. No offense to Henry Aaron and all those guys. I'm sorry, Hank, but Albert Pujols is really, really good. Well, that's no offense to Henry. Albert is really, really good.
Yes, he is.
He didn't say he's better than Henry. Then Henry might take some offense.
There goes Flaherty throws strike one to Michael Bourne here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bourne is 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored.
Well, I think getting back to what you were saying about John Smoltz and what he's going to do with the Cardinals, I think that's where his best utility might be. That Franklin's been the closer, so that job's gone. Right. I don't think Smoltz is going to pitch ahead of Pinheiro the way he's pitched.
No.
They probably don't need to go much deeper than 3 in the rotation.
True. That's why I was.
So I wonder why Don doesn't feel like Smoltz is.
Maybe his arm won't bounce back in relief to pitch back-to-back games, but they might not need that.
Use him when he's available.
Right. That's what I was thinking. But Don's a Hall of Famer. He knows a lot about pitching. And he knows John Smoltz.
Hall of Famer doesn't matter. He's not running that club.
He rolled a shortstop, Escobar. And whoa! Now, I thought Michael Bourne beat that, but once again, Gary Darling gave the out call, and nobody's saying anything.
I argued with Gary earlier, and I was wrong, so I'm not going to argue with him this time. I'm going to sit right here in the dugout and just assume that he got it right.
Okay. You got it right.
Chale had him safe. Flip a coin. I'm flipping a coin if I'm umpiring.
Two of the closest calls involving Michael Bourne tonight. He called out on both. Strike one to Matsui. Matsui's 2 for 3. It's Berkman on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves relievers. 18 wins, 23 losses, a 3.79 ERA. Fouled away, 1-2. The Marlins are pounding the Mets 13-4. It's the bottom of the 9th inning now. Parnell started for New York. It's 2-2. Carlos Beltran has returned to the lineup for the Mets. And it sounds as if Carlos Delgado is going to be back before the end of the year. Tron's not playing tonight, but he played their last game. 3-2 now for O'Flaherty.
Probably glad he's not playing tonight. 13-4.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to be a part of that one.
No. Eric O'Flaherty from Walla Walla, Washington. Walks. Matsui.
Oh, just like the song, right?
Yeah.
The baseball song. Beautiful day for a ball game. From Walla Walla, Washington to Kalamazoo. Play that in all the minor league ballparks. It's a beautiful day.
There you go. Lance Berkman ripped a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, batting left-handed. He also has a walk.
Happy anniversary to Bill Gullickson.
What did Gully do?
29 years ago today, as a rookie, he struck out 18 to set the major league record for strikeouts in a game by a rookie. 21 years old. Yeah. Throwing right-hander Bill Gullickson.
He was with Montreal then?
He was.
Paid attendance 26,552 tonight. For the Astros for a while. In fact, sometimes we see him in the clubhouse when we go to Florida.
His daughter's an elite tennis player. That was on the pro tour.
Didn't know that.
Probably a wonderful guy. Great competitor.
Runner going, and Matsui has stolen second base. That's his 2nd of the night and 16th of the year.
Astros got stolen bases from Matsui twice and Bourne tonight. Again, having a lot of luck at home plate hitting, but not so much throwing base runners out.
Carlos Lee's on deck. Bouncer to Kelly Johnson. 2 down, Matsui to 3rd for Lee now. And Bobby Cox will make another move. He does not want to leave O'Flaherty in. Tim Burdick is warming up for Houston. Bobby will remove the lefty and bring in another pitch to face Carlos Lee with a score 9-5 Atlanta. Back in a moment.
Official watching party. Join us on location and wear your favorite team's gear, and you might be the Hooters fan of the day. Check us out this week at the Houston Kirby Hooters at 2519 Southwest Freeway. Come hang out with us and watch football on Saturday at Hooters on Fox. Brownie.
Football season watching time. Thank you very much, Bart. And now it's Moylan. Peter Moylan with a 6-2 record at 2.95 ERA. He is the busiest major league reliever with 77 appearances.
We talked about Derek Lowe being tough to to lift the ball, hit the ball out of the ballpark. Check out this guy. 77 games he's yet to allow a home run, 61 innings. It's absolutely incredible. And Live Sports Bureau says that's a record. Appearances without allowing a home run in a single season.
Carlos Lee would like to end that right here. There's strike one to him. There's an RBI single and a walk in 3 trips. This is the 3rd time Moreland has pitched against the Astros this year. It's the 3rd time he's faced Lee. Bouncer up the middle. Kelly Johnson throws to LaRoche for out number 3. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded at 3rd. It's 9-5 Braves after 7. Coming weekend series against the Pirates starting tomorrow night. It's Charlie Morton versus Bud Norris. Saturday night it's Ross Ollendorf and Brian Moeller. Sunday Paul Maholm versus Felipe Paulino.
Bring on the Buccos.
Tim Burdack is pitcher number 6 for the Astros. He's 1-1. His ERA coming down to 2.81.
Tim did not pitch in yesterday's game, and that's notable because he's out there almost every day, it seems.
Yes. Faces Brian McCann. McCann is 4 for 4 with 2 runs batted in, and he has scored twice.
Somebody's got to neutralize this man.
They strike one. Burdack pitched in that Phillies series 3 times, and this is his 2nd outing against Atlanta. Pitch Tuesday. Berkman tosses to him.
Take that, Brian McCann.
That's 1 out. And now Garrett Anderson follows. Burdack has been the guy night after night. Has a scoreless string of 17 appearances, 12 1/3 innings coming into this game tonight. 2nd longest of his career. 65 appearances, including this one, a new career high for Tim. Strike to Anderson. Angels now batting in the last of the 3rd. 0-0 with Seattle. Anderson left that Angel club, but about 8 of their starters are within 3 points or over a 300 batting average for the season. That is a hard-hitting club this year. Phil Boudreau tells us that Tom Dukes once made 9 straight pitching appearances for the Astros in 1968. 9 games in a row.
The Duker.
That's club record.
Tom Dukes.
Tom Dukes.
To admit, I've never heard of Tom Dukes.
No.
Prior to that.
Don't know Tom Dukes.
Foods factoid of the night right there.
Yeah.
That's probably why. He probably couldn't lift his arm after that.
9 straight appearances. Struck him out, 2 outs.
You see, Tom Dukes, 6 major league seasons, 5-16 record, appeared in 161 ball games. What year was that?
68. Was he with Baltimore? Okay.
He was indeed in 1971, Brownie.
That Tom Dukes.
Very
Okay.
good.
We got to
take obscure former Astros for 200, please.
Carl Nichols.
We already had the Carl Nichols reference. Dave Rohde, we threw him out there.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. This September baseball, we need to just focus on different little stories each and every night.
All right, Larry Yount is a story. There's a foul ball back, and this is out of play.
And Robin's brother.
Robin's brother came in. He was a pitcher. Was called out of the bullpen. He was warming up to come into a game, and he got injured and never got in that game. And that was the only game he ever had. And
because of injury, right?
Yeah.
Did that end his career?
That did it. Yeah, that was it.
It's kind of like Moonlight Graham.
Yes. It was, except Moonlight Graham actually, what was he, a right fielder? He played in the field, but never batted. But Larry Yount only warmed up, and technically he was in the game because he had been called out of the bullpen, but he never really threw a pitch in the game.
He was only 21 years of age, called up from Oklahoma City, so he must have been a pretty good prospect.
Must have been. Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, just think about that, all that anticipation. When I get to the big leagues, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing, and he just never got to throw a pitch.
And I'm reading a story on him now.
He and Jay Dahl and Philip Barzilla are the only 3 players to appear in only 1 game with the Astros. And in their career as well.
A 5th round pick in 1968 out of Taft High School, same school Larry Dierker went to.
That's right.
And then he had been away fulfilling military obligation. And then joined the Astros, so he hadn't thrown in a while.
Foul ball. No, it wasn't. He swung and missed and was tagged out. LaRoche striking out. Burdick has a 1-2. Meanwhile, we're celebrating Dave Raymond joining us in the TV booth. Dave, One of the Astros' fine radio broadcasters is also an opera enthusiast. Is that correct, Dave?
No, I just heard you talking about opera, and
Okay.
I wanted a little clarification.
So you heard that we were
Okay.
talking opera, and you said, I've got to go and bail these guys out. They're running out of bullets.
We're glad to have you, pal.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome anytime.
We were arguing over close calls at first base, and I'd fatigued on that issue, given the context of the game.
Yeah.
There's a fat lady in the opera, though, right? And she sings sort of toward the end?
Yeah, that was a question that I posed to Brownie because he went to the opera in Italy. When he goes opera, he doesn't. He goes big time. He's not going to go in Houston or New York or anywhere else. He's going straight to Italy.
Did you go to Rome?
Yeah. How about you?
I went to the opera here in Houston.
Okay.
I can't remember the name. I don't even know whose it was. The Astros won, though, at the end.
Funded by
I asked Brownie, I said, when he went to the opera, did the fat lady sing? And he said there was a few of them.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of them.
Yeah. I think Reed Gurecki's in left field. It's something to do with the embouchure, the voice, that deep, rich sound.
I'm sure you did not have this in Rome.
Yeah.
But they have this in Houston. Literally like a scroll.
Oh, so you can translate.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have that.
I would want that.
Yeah.
So you hear this beautiful music in a language you don't understand, but you can just be transfixed on this little ribbon board and read this 3-hour story.
Well, that would have helped immensely. We had no idea what they were singing about.
It was sad at times, I'm sure, very happy at others.
We couldn't tell. It was just a lot of emotion, but we couldn't tell which way it was going.
Opera's like a baseball team.
Go ahead.
That's all I got.
In what way?
I don't know. I was waiting for you to fill in the blanks.
Okay. Now, you went this year to the opera?
No, I want to say this is about 2 years ago.
Okay.
It was good. I will say I enjoyed it.
And how about in the Bay Area? Did you ever go?
I never went to the opera in the Bay Area. I've been to the ballet. You done the ballet, Brian?
No, I haven't done that. That's going to take a little doing.
Yeah.
Chipper Jones to his left. And that's out number one. But culturally now, this area probably ranks higher than you thought coming from the Bay Area. Right?
Well, that's one of the great secrets of Houston, is it not? I mean, this is culturally, I think, even a step ahead of San Francisco, which would sell itself, of course, as one of the great cultural epicenters of the United States. But it doesn't really compare here. The seats available here for live theater and that kind of stuff hardly compares to anywhere but maybe New York City.
Hunter Pence is 2 for 3, so you would highly recommend that we attend the opera here.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
JD, maybe we should.
I'm on. I'm in. I'm up.
And how about that? That'd be a nice night. The announcer's night. We'd have to get Dolan on board with this one. That could be tough.
It might be tough. And then Milo, of course, probably goes regularly, right?
Well, he is a man who appreciates all fine things. I guess. There's Brett.
Brett might think about it.
He's like, just leave me alone.
I've never asked, but I'm certain he's never been to the opera.
He really doesn't want to be bothered with this. 2 balls and a strike. Well, we all should try to broaden our horizons.
Yeah.
So that would be a good group outing, maybe.
I think it'd be great. That'd be a lot of fun. I'll get the cooler.
Field trip to the opera.
Can you tailgate?
Well, we can.
Bouncer Moreland can't get it. And that's an infield hit for Hunter Pence, his 3rd hit.
That's 3 in a row. Phoebe to center and push one to right field last time, and now this little chopper over Moreland's head. Moreland keeps the ball in the ballpark, gets a lot of ground balls, so you got to kind of scratch it out against him. Very optimistic with his approach to that one, but I think he's really going to make a play on it. He's from Australia, this guy. Keep him going.
Now, Chris Johnson and Raleigh Davis here. So this would be a good time for him to prove that his very presence will get Chris Johnson his first major league hit.
Ooh, I'd love to take credit for something like that.
You got to see a lot of him in spring training. That was you're laughing because you got to see a lot of spring training, period.
Yeah.
But an interesting story. Chris Johnson, his dad Ron is going to be here now this weekend to watch him. His dad actually took some time off to see him play in a spring training game.
I'm guessing you had Chris Johnson on for one of your pregame shows here the last couple of days, pregame interviews.
I did, yeah. I had him on the other day. The day after he got plunked.
Only a simulated game by Bizardo.
Yeah.
How did he seem? Pretty excited to be here?
Yeah, I was shy.
Did he give you a little self-analysis, scouting report on his game? Or?
Well, I mean, he was really soft-spoken, which I thought was interesting. Just given how much time he had spent at spring training with the big club, I thought maybe by this point he'd feel pretty comfortable. But he's laying back. I mean, he's really laying back and watching. But we talked about his month of August, which was phenomenal.
Here we go.
Flare to right field. Let's see if Diaz can get there. There it is. His first major league hit. And Rally Dave has come through as Chris Johnson loops one into right field. And his girlfriend's got to be loving this.
Yeah. That's terrific.
Immediately going to the phone. Sending out the text. Chris got his first big league hit. Here's a semi-standing ovation from the faithful here as they see the message board announcing Chris Johnson's first major league hit.
It's one of those things, too, I think, where folks here anticipate or certainly hold out hope that there will be many, many more of those for Chris Johnson here.
There'll be a little texting.
There it goes.
Mad texting.
There it goes.
Chris Costa is the batter with runners at first and second. And he rolls one to Chipper Jones at third. Who throws him out? Runners at second and third now. Now last night, Chris Johnson's mother was also here. Alongside his girlfriend. We don't see her tonight, but Patty Smith did a little interview with him. And what a thrilling time for them, Dave.
Well, you mentioned his dad, Ron, making the parents at spring training to see him. He had to do it under a great deal of duress by the Red Sox organization. I mean, he did not want to leave his camp and his team. And then even now, he's been called up to the Red Sox, to the big club, and they have basically forced him to take 5 days off to go see his son play.
Oh, that's great. Jason Michaels pinch hitting here. Yeah, JD was talking about him, and a typical baseball lifer that we talk about, and his loyalty, and you just don't want to tear yourself away from the job during the season.
And you were talking about Chris being soft-spoken, and I remember reading quotes from him in spring training saying, he was going to be quiet because his dad told him, go in there, keep your mouth shut, just pay attention to what happens, and play hard.
Did you ever run across him, JD? I mean, was he ever a part of your baseball experience?
No. He was. I was looking at him last night online. He played for the Royals in the Expos sparingly in the early '80s. So he was in the American League, and then he was about 4 years older than me. So by the time I came up, he was already gone. And I don't know if I ran into him in the minor leagues or not. I may have.
Chipper Jones behind third base with a throw to first and safe. The ball gets away from the Roach. Hunter Pence scores and Chris Johnson scores. And now Rally Dave is really working his magic here. The Astros have two in the bottom of the eighth inning. It's ruled an error on Jones, and that's his second of the game.
The second error on Chipper Jones. Both throws to first base, and both times I think Adam LaRoche could have bailed him out. We're going to look at it here. Not an easy play. Right down the line, right over the bag it goes. Jones on the backhand side has to load up on that back leg. I'm not sure where Adam LaRoche is going here. Let's take another look at it. And the ball's sailing. Wow, he's ducking on the inside. He's lucky he didn't get smoked. He's got to come off the bag and just cut this ball off.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive that there wasn't a collision down there.
Yes. Michael Bourne looks at strike one. Dave, you've been part of some wild games around here. This could be another one, and we can't let you leave as long as this is happening, of course. Because you're definitely influencing this game.
Well, there was Super Dave Osborne. Now there's Rally Dave Raymond.
Got a little bit of pressure.
It looks like now they might be giving a hit to no. Okay, it's an error all the way.
Talking about Pete Moylan not giving up any home runs this year. As a matter of fact, he has not given a home run since at the beginning of last year. Pretty incredible run he's on.
You know what that means?
Like Lance, right?
Yeah.
Going deep off low. That was difficult to anticipate.
Well, if Michael belts one right here, it's a tie ball game, Dave.
And Lord knows, we've seen Michael do it. Not the part of the game that you lean on, but he's been pretty clutch this year.
LaRoche tossing and out at first. Another close call.
He's about 1.4 seconds shy of 3 hits.
The official online shop of the Astros at Astros.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Astros.com shop. Bill?
Thank you, Bart. It's the 9th inning. It's 9-7. The Braves lead it. They got 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and the Astros have kept it close now with 2 more in the 8th. Doug Brocail's 1-0 with a 4.35 ERA. And there's a bunt dropped down by Diaz. Brocail with an amazing, what a play! He took a forward tumble and threw him out. Looking down at his hand.
He might have hurt himself, but wow.
Yeah, he is hurting.
That was an unbelievable play. I said, no, you're not going to do it to me. Look at that play. Falling down on one leg. That may be the best play you're ever going to see a 41-year-old pitcher make. Wow.
Grief.
That's about 10% ability and 90% flat-out desire. Nope, I'm not going to let you get away with it. You're not going to drop one down on the old guy.
Didn't see that he jammed his hand or anything like that, but he's definitely having some problems with it. Cramping, maybe? In the fingers?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. When he released the ball, and something going on.
It looked like he had absolutely no chance, and he got to that ball and just flung it. Throwing off just his right foot to save time. No time to step and get him. That's a big play by Brocail.
Get all those bone chips realigned, get the tendons put back in the right place.
It's amazing. That's an exciting out number 1 here in the 9th inning. Kelly Johnson is next. He has a double. 1 for 3 with a walk. Tim Burdack had a hitless inning. With 2 strikeouts for Tim. Strike 1 for Johnson. The Astros have Matsui, Berkman, and Lee due up. It's 1-1. Last night, the closer Rafael Soriano for the Braves got a blown save and a loss. Over shortstop in left center field. Tejada jumping in the air. Ball was about 30 feet over his head, and Johnson's aboard. He does that.
He's very optimistic. He's seen enough movies, enough television to know every now and then people fly, so he's going to give it a go just in case it kicks in. He's not sure that at some point some kind of a superpower will kick in, and he doesn't want to not be there.
Stay tuned after the game for Astros Live, presented by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Kevin Eschenfelder and Allison Footer will have all the highlights and analysis. Pinch hitter is Brooks Conrad, the former Astro. And Brooks, a switch hitting second baseman, comes up with a .289 average. That's a fly ball. Michael Bourne over in the right center field. 2 outs.
That's the video montage we have to put together. Miggy jumping for balls that he has absolutely no chance at. That would be fun.
You bet. And there have been a few this year. Peter Moylan went 1 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, had no walks and no strikeouts. He left for the pinch hitter Conrad. Now it's Nate McLouth. McLouth has 2 hits and a walk tonight. Started the game with a home run. There's ball 1 to him. Soriano last night came in with a 1-0 lead, gave up 2 runs. And will be facing some of the same hitters if he comes in for the bottom of the 9th he faced last night. 2 balls, no strikes, but lefty Mike Gonzalez also is available. It's 3-0 from Doug Brocail. Had 2 appearances since he came off the disabled list. The right shoulder strain. 3-1. He had that hamstring injury and then was injected with his own plasma. That promoted the healing, got him back faster, but he had a shoulder injury after that from all the inactivity. And now a walk to McLeod. Braves was at first and second with 2 outs for Escobar. At age 42, trying to finish strong.
Yeah, I cheated him. I said 41, 42. I don't know whether Doe's going to try to play again next year or not. He may decide to shut it down.
Escobar's had a big night. He's been on 4 times, 3 hits and a walk. There's ball 1. Well, if he does shut it down as a player, he would have a future, I would think, as a coach, if he would want to pursue that.
Well, and he would shut it down knowing that he gave it everything he had, coming back time and time again from injury. He will not have to play the what-if game. What if I hung in there a little longer? Could I squeeze a little more out?
Strike to Escobar, 1-1. And then some players will sit out for a year and then decide they should have kept at it and then try to come back. Jim Palmer was out for several years before he tried to come back. He was in his mid-40s. Braves 6 for 14 with runners in scoring position. 279 for the season. And yet they're only 9th in runs scored in the league. Bales made 13 trips to the DL. He was headed for the dugout.
I think that batting average with runners in scoring position can be really overplayed. The Phillies have a very low batting average with runners in scoring position. One of the highest scoring teams in the league.
Bounce to shortstop. Tejada with a flip to Matsui. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded. Bottom of the 9th now. Matsui, Berkman, and Lee to come up. By the Ford F-150 and by the Progressive Insurance Group. Bobby Cox will not call on Rafael Soriano to open the bottom of the 9th inning. Instead, it's lefty Mike Gonzalez. Gonzalez coming in with a 2-run lead, 9-7, and those numbers.
Gonzalez has worked 71 times this year. 2.45 ERA for his efforts. 81 strikeouts in 66 innings. Have a couple of switch hitters up there in Matsui and Berkman to get the inning started. So Gonzalez and lefty will turn them around to the right side. And most significant with the Puma, who waits on deck and would represent the tying run if Matsui can reach here.
Last night with a 1-0 lead, Soriano struck out 4, and then Matsui single. Berkman doubled, lead on an intentional walk, and Tejada won the game. So a different approach here for Bobby Cox as Gonzalez pitches to Matsui and throws ball 1. Matsui has 2 hits and a walk tonight. Fouls it away, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez worked Tuesday night in the 2-1 Braves win. Came in leading 2-0 in the 8th inning, gave up 1 hit, and that was by Berkman. And no runs. 1-2 for the 31-year-old lefty from Robstown, Texas, who lives in Deer Park. Went to high school in Pasadena and then on to San Jacinto Junior College.
Clocked at 96 miles an hour. He's got a good 4-seam fastball, hard breaking pitch, and a straight change. A little bit unorthodox in his delivery, mostly at the start as he gets kind of cranking there. Rocks back. One more time, and then away he goes.
On the breaking pitch, he strikes out Matsui. 1 out. Gonzalez has 9 saves and 15 opportunities this year. Soriano is 22 of 26 in saves. Berkman ripped a 3-run homer in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Fouls it back, strike 1. And single to left field in the 8th inning Tuesday night off Gonzalez. I think the official score is changing that ruling in the 8th inning.
And to give to Jason Michael a single and an RBI, and then the error on the throw allowing the second runner to score.
So 1 of the runs will be earned, charged to Peter Moylan. 1 unearned. And Michaels picks up a hit and an RBI. That's his 16th run batted in. 1-2 for Gonzalez, who had Tommy John surgery in 07. Opened last year on the disabled list. Bouncer on into left center field for a Berkman hit. His second of the night. And the Astros get the potential tying run to the plate with El Caballo coming up.
Now the advantage swings to the Astros with the right-handed hitting Lee up there against the lefty Gonzalez. Nothing cooking in the Braves pen right now.
He has an RBI single and a walk tonight. Ball one outside at 94 from Gonzalez. Braves have 31 saves and 20 blown saves. Lee is 1 for 8 against Gonzalez. It's 1-1 with Tejada on deck. Astros have 13 final at-bat wins this year. It's 1-2. Marlins beat the Mets 13-4 at New York. Nick Johnson drove in 4. Back.
Talk a lot about pitchers working quickly and setting the tone. I like what Carlos Lee does. A lot of times when he'll take a pitch, you can tell he's frustrated that he took a pitch. And instead of stepping out and walking around and contemplating any number of things, he just stands in there, pounds the bat on home plate, says, okay, bring it on.
Two and two. That was up for a good confrontation. Braves lead after 8 innings. Their record is 62-3 this season. They're trying to gain a split of the season series with the Astros. Up the right field line, but foul and out of play. Carlos does so well and gets 2 strikes. Doesn't try to take such a big swing. Struck out 45 times this year, 526 at bats. Line drive, hooking, and foul.
Gonzalez got away with one there. Carlos Lee, when falling behind in the count 0-2 this year, is a 276 hitter. That's incredible. Most guys are down in the low 100s.
Now it's 3-2. Big pitch coming from Mike Gonzalez. Berkman's going. Foul back. Stole a base last night in the 4th inning with Carlos batting. This will be the 10th pitch for Mike Gonzalez to Carlos Lee. Berkman goes again, and it's ball 4, bringing up Miguel Tejada. 2 men on, 1 out for Tejada, who's 0 for 4. He's grounded into 2 double plays. But last night, here's what happened in the bottom of the 9th inning.
The 3rd time this year he has delivered a game-winning hit in the Astros' last at-bat.
Pitch runner for Carlos Lee is Edwin Masonette at first base. Giants on deck. Braves head for St. Louis after this game. They're 71 and 68, while the Astros are 68 and 71. 2 men on for Tejada. He's hit the ball on the ground 3 times out of 4 tonight. Pops it up. The can comes back near the screen, but it's out of play. Chris Medlin warming up for Atlanta now. Right-hander, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Cox may want the option of going with a right-handed pitcher when on and if Hunter gets up there to hit.
Escobar to second, and then the relay double play. The third of the night hit into by Tejada. Kelly Johnson really turned it with a strong arm, and that ends this ball game. The Braves win it 9-7 with Gonzalez getting his 10th save. Derek Lowe going to 14-9 with a win. Roy Oswalt the loser 8-6.